He once passed the AP English exam in Spanish. Flamingos write essays about him as an icon of American culture. He is the missing sixth point on the rhetorical triangle. On his first rhetorical analysis, he got a 10. He is the most interesting English student in the world.
Take English, my friends.
And now, some breaking news. Live on the scene with the most interesting English student in the world, it's me! And now, an interview with the most interesting English student in the world. Come with me. Hop, 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 hop. Mr. Most Interesting English Student in the World, I'm an aspiring writer. Would you have any tips for me for something like, say, a timed writing?
Well, you see, a timed writing is a writing prompt where you've got, give or take, 40 minutes to write about some prompt.
Oh, yes,
Yes, I see. About an argumentative form, which is just where you take a stance. A synthesis form is where you just compile information, and you are explicitly not allowed to take a stance. And a rhetorical analysis, which is where you analyze the rhetorical devices an author uses to get across their idea. Now, these are probably the worst part of AP English for someone not so distinguished as myself, and they're often very fretted over by normal students.
Absolutely fascinating. So, I've heard that you, for your action project, which is very common in AP English, you actually went to the Swedish mountains to reenact Frankenstein. Care to explain that?
Well, actually, it was the Swiss Alps, which is where a good part of Frankenstein takes place. That's where Victor sojourns in the mountains for a while, which is weird. But I was very dedicated to this action project, which I had to do after reading Frankenstein in order to express my connections to the book. The action project varies depending on what book you picked, but Frankenstein, you're not allowed to have any communication with anyone for 24 hours, and I did this by sojourning myself in the Swiss Alps.
Amazing!